Imagine being born as nature's most perfect killing machine, only to discover that even apex predators aren't truly safe. You're about to experience life through the eyes of one of the ocean's most feared creatures, but the shocking truth about your survival might surprise you more than you think. Your story begins in complete darkness, floating inside your mother's belly where you're already practicing what you do best. You're not just developing, you're actively hunting your first meal, your own siblings' unfertilized eggs. Welcome to the brutal reality of being a great white shark, where survival of the fittest starts before you're even born. This cannibalistic behavior actually gives you the energy boost needed to grow to an impressive 5 feet before taking your first breath of ocean water. Then comes the moment scientists have never witnessed, your actual birth. We know it happens somewhere in the vast ocean, probably in prey-rich coastal waters, but the exact location remains one of nature's best-kept secrets. When a great white shark is born, along with up to a dozen siblings, it immediately swims away from its mother, because staying close means becoming dinner. Your own mother now sees you as nothing more than a potential snack. Talk about tough love. But here's where things get interesting. You're not just any newborn. At 5 feet long, you're already larger than most fully grown fish. You've essentially won the genetic lottery, starting life at the top of the food chain with a set of instincts that would make professional hunters jealous. Your mother has gifted you something most animals spend years learning, an innate knowledge of what to eat and exactly how to kill it. The ocean becomes your hunting ground immediately, but don't get cocky just yet. Those early months are absolutely critical because many great white pups don't survive their first year. You need to focus purely on growth, adding roughly a foot in length annually, while your jaw's strength develops. Right now, you're stuck with smaller prey, various fish species, and whatever else you can overpower. Your jaw isn't quite ready for the massive bites that will define your later years. During these vulnerable early years, you stick to shallow coastal waters where larger predators are less common. But even here, you're constantly watching your back because bigger sharks consider you a perfect meal. The irony is delicious. The future ocean king spending his childhood hiding from his own kind. As you approach your 3rd birthday, something remarkable happens. You've grown enough to start experimenting with more ambitious prey, and your natural camouflage system is becoming devastatingly effective. Combined with their gray coloring on top, this works as effective camouflage, whether their targets are looking up to the bright sky or down to the seafloor. This counter-shading makes you nearly invisible from both above and below, a perfect stealth system that turns every hunt into an ambush. Your first real test comes when you encounter penguins. Unlike the helpless fish you've been consuming, these birds actually have options. They can swim, dive, and escape if they spot you coming. This is where your hunting instincts truly shine. You position yourself in the depths, using the sun's rays filtering down to mask your approach. When that unsuspecting penguin thinks the water looks perfectly safe, you strike with surgical precision. But hunting isn't just about strength. It's about your incredible sensory abilities. Hidden across your head are over 1,500 jelly-filled pores called ampullae of Lorenzini, giving you what amounts to a 6th sense. They have 6 highly refined senses: smell, hearing, touch, taste, sight, and electromagnetism. This electroreception allows you to detect the electrical fields generated by other animals' muscle contractions and heartbeats. A stingray hiding in the sand might as well be broadcasting its location directly to you. Then, there's your legendary sense of smell, though the reality might surprise you. You can detect a seal colony from 2 miles away, and yes, you can smell blood in water, but not quite as dramatically as movies suggest. That famous claim about detecting a single drop of blood in an Olympic-sized pool. It's technically true, but only if the pool is barely filled. You're impressive, but you're not magic. Your teenage years bring new opportunities and embarrassing failures in equal measure. As you grow to around 8 or 9 feet, you become bold enough to target seals. And this is where things get entertaining. Seal hunting requires the famous breach attack. And let's just say your success rate is far from perfect. You position yourself in the depths, lock onto your target, and rocket toward the surface at speeds reaching 25 miles per hour. Swimming fast at the surface, sharks can reach 40 miles per hour and fly 10 feet into the air. When everything goes right, you explode from the water in a spectacular display of power, your massive body completely airborne with a seal clamped in your jaws. When it goes wrong, which happens about half the time, you find yourself flying through the air with nothing but embarrassment, crashing back into the ocean while your intended meal escapes unharmed. The ocean can be a humbling place, even for apex predators. Each failed hunt comes with a price beyond just missing a meal. Your teeth, all 300 of them arranged in 7 rows, are constantly being damaged and replaced. They're held in place by soft tissue, making them remarkably easy to lose during violent attacks. Fortunately, you have a conveyor belt system constantly producing new teeth, with fresh ones moving forward as the old ones fall out. Only about 50 of your teeth are actively being used for tearing prey at any given time, but that's more than enough to ruin anyone's day. Your hunting grounds aren't always peaceful either. Seals have learned to fight back, and sometimes they coordinate their efforts. Picture this. You're approaching what looks like an easy meal when suddenly dozens of seals surround you, jabbing and attacking from all directions. Even as a powerful predator, being mobbed by angry prey is genuinely concerning. You retreat, probably wondering if there's a less stressful career path available in the ocean. These setbacks teach you something crucial. Even apex predators need to pick their battles carefully. You start noticing other sharks in your territory, some even larger than you. The ocean hierarchy is constantly shifting, and size usually determines who gets the best hunting spots and the choicest prey. You're growing, but you're not the biggest fish in the sea just yet. As you mature into your prime years, the ocean becomes your personal highway for epic journeys that span thousands of miles. Great whites are among the ocean's greatest travelers, using the Earth's magnetic field as a natural GPS system. Your electroreception doesn't just help you hunt, it allows you to navigate vast distances with incredible precision. Some of your kind travel from California to Hawaii and back, a round trip that would make most humans exhausted just thinking about it. One of your regular destinations is a mysterious place researchers call the White Shark Cafe, a deep ocean area where great whites congregate for reasons that remain partially unknown. Great white shark mothers give birth to live young once every 2 or 3 years, and these gathering spots might serve multiple purposes: feeding, socializing, and possibly even mating. Your body is perfectly adapted for these marathon journeys thanks to a rare trait among fish. While most fish are cold-blooded and dependent on water temperature to regulate their body heat, you're part of an elite group. The great white shark is notable for its size, with the largest preserved female specimen measuring 5.83 m, 19.1 ft, in length and around 2,000 kg, 4,400 pounds, in weight at maturity. You have specialized blood vessels that act as a heat exchange system, keeping your core body temperature warmer than the surrounding water. This means you can hunt effectively in cold waters where other predators become sluggish and ineffective. Your warm-blooded advantage becomes crucial when you encounter larger prey like elephant seals. These massive marine mammals can weigh over 4,000 pounds when fully grown, but you're smart enough to target their vulnerable young during pupping season. Even seal pups require careful technique. You don't just bite and hope for the best. You grab them by the lower body to immobilize them, then wait patiently as they weaken. It's calculated, efficient, and absolutely ruthless. But success breeds overconfidence, and overconfidence in the ocean can be fatal. As you grow larger and more dominant, reaching lengths of 15 to 20 feet, you start noticing something disturbing. Other sharks in your size range are turning up dead, and not from old age or disease. Something is systematically hunting great whites, and that something is terrifyingly effective. The first time you encounter a whale carcass, you think you've hit the jackpot. Dead whales attract sharks from hundreds of miles away, creating underwater feeding frenzies where dozens of your species gather to feast. You approach cautiously, testing the social dynamics before committing to feed. Surprisingly, Most encounters are relatively peaceful. There's enough food for everyone, and fighting wastes precious energy. These carcass sites also serve as meeting grounds where mating might occur, though the actual process remains one of the ocean's greatest mysteries. Great white shark reproduction is a somewhat mysterious topic so far for scientists. What we do know is that males are smaller than females, possibly because females need extra body mass to carry up to 17 developing pups. The mating process involves males biting females to maintain position, a violent-looking process that their rough, tooth-like skin is specifically adapted to handle. As a fully mature adult, you've theoretically conquered the ocean food chain. You can take down seals, sea lions, small whales, and basically anything else that moves through your territory. Your bite force exceeds 4,000 pounds per square inch, making you one of the most powerful biters in the animal kingdom. Your 20-foot length and 4,000-pound weight make you a living torpedo capable of devastating attacks. But then you encounter something that changes everything you thought you knew about being an apex predator. The first clue is a strange clicking sound in the water. Echolocation calls that don't belong to any prey species. You investigate cautiously, your curiosity overriding your usual caution. What you discover floating nearby is the mutilated remains of another great white shark, roughly your size, with distinctive bite marks and missing organs. The killer whale, or orca, represents everything you thought you were, but bigger, smarter, and infinitely more terrifying. These marine mammals hunt in coordinated groups, communicate with complex vocalizations, and have developed specific techniques for killing great whites. They've learned to flip you upside down, inducing a state called tonic immobility that leaves you helpless while they extract your nutrient-rich liver and discard the rest. What makes this even more disturbing is that orcas don't kill great whites out of desperation or hunger. They do it because they can. Your liver, packed with oils and fats, is apparently a delicacy in their sophisticated palate. You're essentially being hunted by underwater gourmets who see you as nothing more than an oversized appetizer. The psychological impact is immediate and profound. When orcas appear in an area, great whites flee en masse, abandoning prime-feeding territories and traveling hundreds of miles to avoid confrontation. Your species, which has dominated the ocean for millions of years, has developed an instinctive terror of these black and white maritime wolves. But just when you think orcas represent the ultimate threat, you encounter something even more dangerous, something that doesn't follow any natural rules. The fishing net appears without warning, an invisible wall that suddenly surrounds you with no escape route. Unlike every other predator you've faced, this one doesn't rely on strength, speed, or natural weapons. It uses technology, intelligence, and industrial scale methods that make your prehistoric hunting techniques seem almost quaint. Humans have become the ocean's true apex predator, not through physical dominance, but through systematic efficiency. Commercial fishing operations kill millions of sharks annually, often by accident but increasingly by design. Shark fin soup, sport fishing, and coastal development have created pressures your species never evolved to handle. The water itself is changing too. Climate change is altering ocean temperatures and current patterns, disrupting the delicate ecosystems you depend on for survival. Chemical pollution affects your reproductive system and accumulates in your tissues over decades. Plastic waste clogs the ocean, often mistaken for food by your prey species, creating a toxic food chain that ultimately leads back to you. Perhaps most ironically, your fearsome reputation has made you a target. Movies like Jaws created a public perception of great whites as mindless killing machines, when the reality is far more complex and vulnerable. You're an apex predator, yes, but also a crucial part of ocean ecosystems that are disappearing faster than they can be replaced. Your life as a great white shark ends not with a dramatic final battle, but with a slowly tightening net of environmental and human pressures. The ocean that once seemed infinite now feels crowded and dangerous in ways your species never anticipated. You survived orcas, rival sharks, and the brutal competition of nature itself, only to face an enemy that rewrites the rules entirely. The most shocking truth about life as a great white shark isn't your incredible hunting abilities or your dominance of the food chain. It's the realization that even perfect predators aren't immune to extinction when the entire ocean becomes a battlefield. Your species has survived for over 400 million years, outlasting dinosaurs and countless other creatures. But the next century might tell a very different story. As you drift through increasingly empty waters, you represent both the pinnacle of evolutionary success and a cautionary tale about the fragility of even the mightiest predators. The ocean's ultimate hunter has become the hunted, and the most dangerous predator in the sea might not be wearing fins at all. That's a wrap on today's wild journey. But here at the Zoo-phoria Show, we're just getting started exploring nature's most incredible stories. Subscribe if you want to keep discovering the shocking, hilarious, and downright unbelievable truths about the animals sharing our planet. Your next favorite animal fact is just one click away.